back to my channel. I am back with another review, so if you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell so that you know every time I upload a new video. A lot went down in this episode, so let's just get right into this review. Mulan ends up putting together a dinner for all the ladies to try to get them to work out whatever issues that they have with each other. And the reason why she decided to do this is because at Nique's girls' night in the previous episode, things didn't go the way that she wanted it to go. She wanted the ladies to have a good time with each other, and she really didn't want any drama. But there was a lot of negative energy from Morgan and Danielle towards Ashley and Mackenzie. Now, something that's really key to remember is that after Nique's girls' night in the previous episode, Nique, Mulan, and Nikki met up to talk about how uncomfortable they were with the way that Danielle and Morgan were acting. Nique, Nikki, and Mulan were all in agreement that they did not agree with the way that Morgan and Danielle were acting towards Ashley and Mackenzie, and that they're neutral and they didn't want to be seen as mean girls, and they also said that they didn't want Ashley and Mackenzie to feel like they were being set up. Nikki is actually the one who had a problem with the way that Morgan and Danielle were making fun of Ashley's hair, and she's also the one who used the word bully first. But instead of Nikki being honest with Morgan and letting her know that she had an issue with the way that her and Danielle were acting too, she sat there and threw Mulan and Nique underneath the bus. She had a problem with her association with Morgan and Danielle making her look like a bully too, but she didn't want to be honest about that, so she stirred up a bunch of drama and made it seem like it was only Mulan and Nique who felt some type of way. Now, for some reason, Mulan thought that it was a good idea to sit girls next to each other who don't like one another, and I don't know why she thought that was a good idea. I know that she thought that that was going to make them talk, but at the end of the day, I think that because she's trying to make everyone make peace, she's going to end up being the bad guy at the end of this situation. A lot of the times when you try to be the mediator, everybody gets mad at you. Morgan and Danielle end up meeting up for drinks right before going to Mulan's dinner, and Morgan is not in a good mood at all. You can just tell she's not, and so Danielle can see that, so she ends up asking her what's wrong, and she says that she's upset because Nikki told her that Nique and Mulan were talking bad about them and basically calling them mean girls and bullies. So now Danielle is annoyed too, and she's clearly more mad at Mulan because they're friends, so she doesn't understand why Mulan was talking about her. Nikki really did stir up some drama just because she wanted to, because I don't understand the point of her going back and telling Morgan what was said when she went to the spa with Nique and Mulan, because she said the same thing that they said. Megan ended up deciding to meet up with Ashley right before Mulan's dinner because she said that she's heard a lot of bad things about Ashley from the other girls, so she wants to hear Ashley's side of the story. Which, in my opinion, is a little too late for Megan to do that because she already made up her mind about Ashley because of what the other girls were saying. And she had a lot of negative things to say about Ashley too, even though she never heard Ashley's side of the story. Now, Ashley did say that she stays to herself most of the time because a lot of the girls are friends with Morgan and she doesn't want to make them pick sides. But Megan told Ashley that she doesn't believe that everything the girls are saying about her is not true, and she feels like Ashley needs to take accountability. Now, Ashley did say that her and Morgan were friends, but now that their friendship has ended, Morgan is playing the victim. But Megan was right when she said that Ashley should tell her side of the story because we haven't heard Ashley's side of the story as to why her and Morgan are not friends. We only heard Morgan's side of the story. So maybe if people knew Ashley's side, maybe they wouldn't be on Morgan's side. Now it's time for Mulan's group dinner, and there was immediate tension as soon as Morgan and Danielle ended up showing up because they were already in a bad mood because of what they heard from Nikki, so they did not want to be at the dinner in the first place. And then on top of that, they had a huge issue with the fact that Mulan had, assigned seats. So they go in and they start moving place cards because they want to sit next to each other, and obviously Mulan has an issue with this, so she's telling them not to move seats, and they did it anyway. And I think that Mulan felt like they were being rude, which they were in my opinion, but I do think that Mulan shouldn't have tried to give assigned seats because I don't think you should put people next to each other who don't like each other because it could turn out being a fight. But I do think that, Danielle and Morgan came in with an attitude because they already had an issue with Mulan. Don't get me wrong, I can completely understand why Morgan and Danielle have a problem with Mulan and Nique because obviously if those are your friends, you're going to be upset when you hear from somebody else that they were calling you bullies and mean girls. But at the same time, I do feel like they should have heard Mulan and Nique's side before they just jumped to believe what Nikki had to say. Now, Mulan ends up telling everyone that she wants them to work out all their issues, and that's when Nikki ended up saying that she wanted to talk first, but Danielle ended up cutting her off and bringing up the comments that were made about Ashley's hair. Now, because Megan was one of the people who had a problem with Ashley's hair in the previous episode, she ended up letting Ashley and everybody else at the table know that she felt like because Ashley's white, she should not wear locks in her hair. Now, I think that it's good that, Megan was honest with Ashley about how she felt, but according to Ashley, she's half black and half white. Now, I'm half black and half white, and I really am half black and half white. Like, I don't know if she really is, but I am. My mom's black, my dad's white, and I know that I look like a mixed person. But when I look at Ashley, she looks like she's white passing. Now, I'm not saying she's lying, because you could be a mixed person and you can look white passing. You could be a mixed person and look black passing, or you can just look like a mixed person in general. So I honestly don't know if Ashley's telling the truth, but I'm going to take her word for it until I see her parents. Now, Nikki ended up jumping into the conversation, and she started bringing up the stuff that Mulan and Nique were saying about Morgan and Danielle. And my thing is, I don't even know why she brought that into the conversation, because she said the same thing that they said. And I honestly don't really feel like they said anything wrong. They were basically trying to say that they're guilty by association, because Morgan and Danielle were being mean to Ashley and Mackenzie at the girls' night for no reason at all. Yeah, they don't like them, but they weren't doing anything to them, so there was no reason for them to keep making nasty comments about them. And because the rest of the girls are friends with Morgan and Danielle too, it makes it seem like they're okay with that behavior just because they're friends. Now, this ends up pissing off Mulan and Nique, because they know Nikki isn't being truthful. Mulan told Danielle and Morgan that Nikki was lying and that something is wrong with her memory, because she felt like they were being mean girls too, and she was the one who brought Bully into the conversation. So this is where Nique and Morgan start arguing, because Nique was trying to talk and Morgan was talking over her. So out of frustration, Nique ended up saying, "I'm talking, bitch." And Morgan was mad about that, which she did have a reason to be upset with it, because you're arguing with somebody and they're calling you a bitch. And if that's not your friend, you're not going to let them call you a bitch. So obviously Morgan was upset about that. And so the two of them started having a back and forth. Now, at this point, everybody is standing up, yelling at each other, and Nique does end up throwing a napkin at Morgan, and that's when Morgan and Nique start fighting with each other. It was crazy. Like, it happened so quickly. And then all of a sudden, you see Mulan get hit by Danielle, and now they're all fighting. All you see is arms swinging the entire time. It just got really crazy and out of control. Now, I really do not know why Danielle ended up hitting Mulan. I don't know if she thought that when Mulan was trying to break up the fight that she was trying to fight too, or if she hit her because she was upset. Now, at this point, it has been a few days since the fight went down at Mulan's group dinner, and Morgan decides to have Danielle and Nikki come over to her house. They're drinking, laughing, having a great time, and they're cheersing to real friendship. And I was just thinking to myself, little does Morgan and Danielle know that Nikki had just as much to say about them as Mulan and Nique did. And I'm waiting to see how they feel when they see that Nikki was saying stuff about them too. And I'm wondering if they're even going to say anything to her about it. Danielle said that she felt a way about the way that Mulan was acting towards her at the dinner, but how exactly was Mulan acting? I mean, Morgan and Danielle ended up showing up, they didn't say hi to anybody, and they started moving place cards around. At this point, Nikki starts trying to play the victim, because she tells Morgan and Danielle that since all the fighting went down at Mulan's dinner, Mulan told their shared makeup artist not to work with her anymore, so Nikki ended up texting Mulan and they started going back and forth. Nikki said that she called Mulan an Oompa Loompa, and that pissed off Mulan, so Mulan texted her back saying that she's not that small herself. And then she sent Nikki a picture of herself, like the back of her body, and she basically was trying to tell her that she wasn't skinny either, so she shouldn't be calling her an Oompa Loompa. Now, according to Nikki, she wasn't calling Mulan an Oompa Loompa because of her body. She was calling her an Oompa Loompa because of her makeup. But Mulan didn't know that when Nikki said that to her. And so even though I don't think that it was right for Mulan to send a picture of Nikki's body to herself, I do feel like, you can't say things about somebody like calling them an Oompa Loompa. Like, you started the name calling, and now when she calls you a name back and tells you that you're not that skinny either, then you sit there and you get upset and you start crying about it. Now, Mulan and Megan end up meeting up with Ashley, and Danielle lets them know that she's really upset with Danielle and she feels betrayed because she doesn't understand why Danielle ended up hitting her. Now, Megan did say that Nique was the aggressor and that Mulan should have pulled Nique away since Nique is her friend, but I feel like that goes both ways though, because yes, Mulan could have pulled Nique away, but at the same time, Danielle could have pulled Morgan away too, because both of them were getting pretty heated. Now, I do like Nique. I really do like her. She seems to try to get along with everybody, and if you set her off, then you're going to see a different side of her, but for the most part, she seems really chill. But she was wrong for throwing that napkin at Morgan because that started things off getting physical. But at the end of the day, I do feel like everybody had a part to play in that situation of why things went wrong. I can understand why Nique was getting so mad at Morgan because she was really trying to tell her side of the story and Morgan would not let her. And at the end of the day, if you guys are supposed to be friends, why not hear her side of the story too instead of running with what somebody else said? That just doesn't make any sense to me. I just feel like this whole situation was miscommunication. But it doesn't seem like the friendship with Danielle and Mulan can be repaired because Mulan did say that she's not working things out with Danielle unless she can hit her back. And then at the same time, she said that it's been days since the fight and Danielle hasn't reached out to her to apologize. Now, some people will say that Danielle shouldn't have to be the one to reach out to apologize, but I do feel like she should have to apologize because she's the one who swung on Mulan. Mulan didn't swing on her. If it was the other way around, I would definitely say that Mulan should be the one to apologize. I mean, I do think that they can talk things out and explain their side of the story without everybody else around, but I do feel like Danielle was wrong because she hit Mulan for no reason. Danielle ended up saying to Nique and Morgan that she feels like Mulan, Mackenzie, and Ashley are the real mean girls because Mulan is body shaming, Ashley is being cool with Morgan's ex-husband's side chick, and Mackenzie slept with her man. Now, I'm not saying that the other girls don't have a little mean girl in them, but I don't see Ashley, Mackenzie, and Mulan giggling and making comments about Morgan and Danielle every time they see them. Nique did end up admitting in this episode that she thought that she was wrong for throwing the napkin at Morgan because she did feel like that started things off getting physical. And that's right, she was the one who started things off getting physical because she ended up throwing a napkin. And if you throw something at somebody, they're going to end up reacting to what you do. So I do think that it was good that Nique was able to take accountability for that. But I don't know if her friendship with the other girls can be repaired either at this point. Danielle, Morgan, Nikki, Megan, and Lindsay go boxing to catch up on all the drama that's went down, and Danielle lets them know that she had to deactivate her social media pages because somebody sent her a picture of Mackenzie and Rashad together, and that's when she ended up going on a rant. She also said that she doesn't want Rashad bringing Mackenzie around her children, which I think it's okay for her to not want Mackenzie around her kids. Not because she doesn't like her, but because Rashad and Mackenzie haven't been together very long anyway. I don't think they're serious about each other. I think they're just dating right now. So I don't think you should invite, somebody that you're only dating around your children in the first place. Unless you know that it's going to be something long term, I don't think you should bring them around the children. But I think that Danielle said that to be petty because she's still not over Rashad. I feel like Rashad probably is playing games with Danielle because she did say that she had screenshots of call logs, text messages, and all that stuff like that of Rashad trying to be with her. So maybe he is telling her that he wants to be with her still. But the thing about it is that she needs to stop falling for it because she's falling for what he's saying. And then all of a sudden she sees pictures and videos of him with Mackenzie. So at this point, she's hurting herself because she keeps allowing him access to her in that type of way. I can completely understand why Danielle is hurt. She has every reason to feel hurt. But at the end of the day, I do feel like she has more smoke for Mackenzie than she has with Rashad, when Rashad's the one that's the problem in this situation. Now, I'm really starting to think that Danielle and Mulan are not going to be able to repair their friendship because Danielle said that she has reached out to Mulan, but Mulan never responded. But she did see some tweets that, Mulan was saying about her. So I do feel like there's a lot of drama surrounding this whole situation between the two of them. I do feel like Mulan felt like, Danielle should have reached out sooner. And now that Danielle waited a whole week to reach out to her, now Mulan feels like she's not really sorry. And so she doesn't really want to talk to her in the first place. I really do like Morgan. I think that she's really pretty, and I think that she probably is a really good friend from what we're able to see, but I really didn't like her response to Danielle saying that she wants to move forward and heal. She basically told her that she can stay upset and mad and dwell on the situation for as long as she wants to, and it's like, no, she needs to do the work to try to move forward and heal so that she's not miserable and stressed out all the time. I don't understand why Morgan wants Danielle to stay stuck in the past. I feel like because Morgan is probably still stuck in the past with Ashley and her ex-husband and that whole situation, she probably wants a friend to be stuck in that too. And that's probably the reason why she was encouraging Danielle to continue to feel how she feels. At the very end of this episode, Danielle and Mulan end up meeting up, and Mulan is still really upset at the fact that Danielle hit her, and on top of that, she's upset that it took Danielle a whole week to contact her to apologize. Now, although Danielle does end up apologizing to Mulan for hitting her, she does let Mulan know that she felt like she was moving funny. Now, I do think that Mulan, Nique, and Nikki should have went directly to Morgan and Danielle to tell them that they felt uncomfortable by the way that they were acting at Nique's girls' night, but Danielle and Morgan should have also asked Mulan and Nique if what Nikki was saying was true, especially since they're all supposed to be friends. Now, this conversation between Mulan and Danielle really wasn't going anywhere because Danielle was still blaming Mulan and Nique for everything that went down. And then on top of that, Mulan is still really upset at the fact that she got hit by Danielle when Danielle is supposed to be her friend. And she's still not over that. And I don't think she's going to get over it anytime soon. So I just don't feel like their friendship is going anywhere. And on top of that, Mulan basically told Danielle that they're not friends anymore and that they can be cordial with each other when they're in the same room. But that's as far as it's going to go. Danielle also brought up that she had an issue with the fact that she felt like Mulan was being buddy-buddy with Mackenzie, but I don't really think that she's been buddy-buddy with Mackenzie. I don't think they really talk to each other when they see each other that much. I don't feel like there's a reason for Mulan to have a problem with Mackenzie, and I don't think that it's right for Danielle to try to make her problems with Mackenzie everybody's problems with Mackenzie. I can understand that since Mulan is her friend, she doesn't want her being cool with her, but at the end of the day, they're not friends anymore, so now if Mulan does want to be friends with Mackenzie, she can't say anything about it. So those are my thoughts on this week's episode of Basketball Wives Orlando. Let me know what you guys thought about this episode down in the comment section. Don't forget to hit that like button for me. I appreciate it. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more videos and hit the notification bell so that you know every time I upload a new video. Thank you to everyone who has subscribed to my channel. I appreciate you all. And until next time, I will talk to you guys in my next video.